Hello, dear friends. I am Sam. Today, I'll share my adventure of traveling to New York. It's a tale of excitement, planning, and a dream come true. Along the way, you'll hear vocabulary, expressions, and phrases that will help enhance your language skills. Let's get started. It all started one quiet evening when I realized I needed a break from the hustle and bustle of my daily life. Work had been overwhelming, and my mind was craving an escape. That's when the thought struck me. Why not New York? It's a city of dreams, endless energy, and countless landmarks. This trip wasn't just about sightseeing. It was about stepping out of my comfort zone, embracing new experiences, and of course, improving my English by immersing myself in a different culture. The next step was booking my flight. I browsed through various websites looking for the best deals, reading reviews, comparing prices, and choosing the perfect flight felt like a mini adventure in itself. Once the tickets were booked, I started planning my itinerary. Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, Central Park, and maybe even a Broadway show. My excitement was through the roof. I packed my essentials, comfortable shoes, a travel guidebook, my camera, and, of course, a notebook to jot down my experiences. On the day of departure, I arrived at the airport early. The hustle of travelers, the announcements echoing through the terminal, and the sight of planes taking off was thrilling. After checking in, I grabbed a coffee and waited for my boarding call. I couldn't stop thinking about the adventure awaiting me. Finally, it was time to board. As the plane took off, I gazed out of the window, watching my city fade away below. The flight was smooth, and I spent most of the time reading about New York, practicing English phrases I might use, and imagining what my trip would be like. Touchdown. The moment I stepped out of the airport, the energy of New York hit me. Yellow taxis zoomed by, the air buzzed with chatter, and skyscrapers towered over me. I hailed a cab and headed to my hotel in Midtown Manhattan. The hotel was cozy and modern, a perfect retreat after a long journey. After checking in and freshening up, I went out for dinner. The city's diversity shone through in its food options, but I decided to try a classic New York-style pizza. Let me tell you, it lived up to the hype. After dinner, I returned to my room, exhausted but exhilarated, and drifted into a deep sleep. The sunlight streaming through my hotel window woke me up early. The city outside was already alive with honking taxis and bustling pedestrians. After a quick morning routine, I headed down to the hotel cafe for breakfast. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. I enjoyed a classic American breakfast of fluffy pancakes, scrambled eggs, and crispy bacon. Fueled up and ready, I set off to explore. My first stop was the iconic Times Square, and it was everything I imagined and more. The billboards were larger than life, flashing advertisements for Broadway shows, fashion brands, and movies. Tourists with cameras slung around their necks mingled with street performers, creating a lively atmosphere. I found myself drawn to a street artist painting a vibrant cityscape. It was mesmerizing to watch the artwork come alive with every stroke. I even treated myself to a classic hot dog from a vendor, my first taste of the quintessential New York snack. Next, I walked to Central Park, an oasis of greenery in the middle of Manhattan. The park was alive with activity. Joggers breezed past me, couples strolled hand in hand, and kids played near the fountains. I sat by the Bethesda fountain, soaking in the tranquility and watching a musician play a soulful melody on his violin. I also visited the Bow Bridge, one of the park's most picturesque spots. It felt like stepping into a romantic movie scene. The gentle sound of rowing boats in the nearby lake added to the charm. As the evening approached, I decided to take a ferry ride to see the Statue of Liberty. Standing on the deck of the ferry, I felt the cool breeze on my face as the Manhattan skyline lit up behind me. The view of the Statue of Liberty, illuminated against the darkening sky, was awe-inspiring. The ferry ride offered an unmatched perspective of the city, and I spent the return journey capturing pictures and chatting with fellow travelers who were just as amazed as I was. To wrap up my day, I treated myself to a last-minute ticket to a Broadway musical. The theater's grandeur, the energy of the performers, and the sheer artistry left me speechless. It was one of the highlights of my trip, and I could finally understand why Broadway is celebrated worldwide. Back at the hotel, I reflected on my day. New York was everything I imagined and more. Vibrant, diverse, and alive. I jotted down my experiences in my notebook, thinking about how this trip not only enriched my life, but also improved my confidence in speaking and understanding English. While laying on my cozy bed in my hotel room, I couldn't help but think about how vast and lively New York is. Despite visiting some of the city's most iconic landmarks today, I knew there was so much more to see. From exploring hidden gems to indulging in local food spots, I'm sure tomorrow will be unforgettable. After an incredible first day filled with iconic landmarks, I woke up on my second day in New York City feeling refreshed and ready to explore more of this vibrant city. The sunlight streaming through the windows seemed like an invitation to uncover the hidden gems and other fascinating neighborhoods I hadn't seen yet. I began my day by heading to Soho, known for its cobblestone streets, chic boutiques, and art galleries. The neighborhood exudes creativity and charm, and every corner seemed Instagram-worthy. My first stop was a quaint cafe tucked away on a quiet street. I ordered a latte and a freshly baked croissant, enjoying the relaxed morning vibe as I planned my itinerary. Around me, locals and tourists mingled in a perfect blend, all captivated by Soho's unique allure. I then wandered into a contemporary art gallery showcasing local artists. The paintings and sculptures were thought-provoking, and the gallery owner shared stories about the inspiration behind some of the pieces. Soho truly felt like the artistic heartbeat of the city. From Soho, I walked to Chinatown, a bustling neighborhood full of vibrant energy. The streets were alive with colorful signs in Chinese characters, the smell of dumplings wafting through the air, and vendors selling exotic fruits and trinkets. I stopped at Columbus Park, where locals gathered to play chess and practice Tai Chi. It was fascinating to watch this cultural snapshot of daily life. For lunch, I couldn't resist heading to a small dim sum restaurant. The dumplings were fresh, the tea was fragrant, and the experience felt authentic and comforting. After a satisfying meal, I decided to cross the Brooklyn Bridge on foot. This iconic structure connects Manhattan to Brooklyn and offers one of the most stunning views of the city. As I walked along the bridge, the New York skyline unfolded before me. The towering skyscrapers, the shimmering East River, and the occasional boat passing by created a breathtaking scene. I stopped midway to take pictures and simply enjoy the moment. Arriving in Brooklyn, I headed to DUMBO, down under the Manhattan Bridge overpass, a trendy neighborhood with cobblestone streets and amazing waterfront views. I explored a few art studios and boutique shops, but the highlight was the view from the Brooklyn Bridge Park. Standing there, I could see the Manhattan skyline in all its glory, with the Statue of Liberty visible in the distance. I treated myself to a scoop of artisan ice cream from a nearby shop and relaxed by the water, soaking in the beauty of the moment. Returning to Manhattan, I visited the New York Public Library, a historic and architectural masterpiece. The grand reading rooms and intricate details of the building left me in awe. It was a peaceful retreat from the city's constant buzz, and I spent some time exploring its exhibits. Just outside the library is Bryant Park, a lively space with twinkling lights and a skating rink during winter. I grabbed a hot chocolate from a kiosk and sat on a bench, watching families and friends enjoying the festive atmosphere. For dinner, I headed to Greenwich Village, a neighborhood famous for its bohemian vibe and historic charm. My cousin had recommended a small Italian restaurant here, known for its handmade pasta. The cozy ambience and delicious meal were the perfect way to end the day. After dinner, I strolled through the tree-lined streets of the village, passing jazz clubs, bookshops, and brownstone buildings. It was quieter than the bustling neighborhoods I had explored earlier, but just as captivating. Back at my hotel, I reflected on the day. From Soho's artistic vibes to Chinatown's cultural richness, the awe-inspiring Brooklyn Bridge, and the charm of Greenwich Village, my second day in New York felt like a deeper dive into the city's soul. I jotted down everything in my notebook, feeling grateful for the experiences. New York truly has something for everyone, and I couldn't wait to see what the next day would bring. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed my story. And let me know in the comments what you'd love to do if you ever visit New York. See you in the next episode with something exciting. Until then, take care and keep dreaming big.